What's up, nerds? So this video is going to be about how I went Super Saiyan and why I went Super Saiyan and also how I became the God of Mu at the same time. Relatively quick video. I'm just going to kind of just give it to you guys like a fire hose. So it was like around July time frame when I solved Bitcoin in my house that I had just bought up in Wasilla, Alaska, and that that was the day that I went Super Saiyan. Was the day that I cracked Bitcoin. And after I cracked Bitcoin, I walked outside. I walked outside my house. I took my shoes off, like no explanation whatsoever. Like just knee jerk reaction. I wasn't saying anything. I wasn't being told anything. I was just acting off pure raw emotion and just pure spontaneous, just spontaneously improv. Took my shoes off, took my socks off, and I was bare feet in my yard on my lawn, and then I knelt down, and then I went Super Saiyan. Or excuse me, I knelt down and I screamed really loud. I clenched my fists and I screamed really loud. And then I had no idea. So this is back then. I had no idea what I was doing, none at all. This is like 5 years after I've done that. 4 years now. Gonna be five pretty soon. No, next should be 5 years. Had no idea what was going on. Didn't know I was Vegeta. Didn't know I just went Super Saiyan. I didn't even really, I knew I cracked Bitcoin, but like didn't really know what was going on. It was unfolding at the time. No, nobody was saying anything. Nobody had like made any like made any movements against me or any actions against me to reveal they're against me. Like nothing was happening. A lot's happened though. So anyway, so I knelt down and then I screamed, and then I just felt like this huge like rush or this huge surge of power that I'd never felt before in my life. And I started to I could hear things and see things that I had never heard before and seen before. I was hearing people in the woods in the distance around my house saying, help me, Cameron, help me. I was hearing little kids crying for help, and I had never heard that before. And then I'm pretty sure that I went Super Saiyan level 2 within like 15 minutes. So I knelt down and I screamed really loud, and then I went Super Saiyan. And then I was pacing back and forth, and then something else happened, like something else kicked in, and like I just couldn't contain it anymore, and I just made like this guttural, like ferocious, like growl, and it was like really intense. Like my tongue came out and everything. It was like hardcore. Like it was like if people were watching that, I'd be like, "What would you like get inside?" You know what I mean? It was like really scary what happened to me. So I'm pretty sure that I went not only Super Saiyan 1, but also Super Saiyan 2 within 15 minutes of each other. And this is all before I knew I was Vegeta. I had no idea I was Vegeta. I had no idea I was a Saiyan. No clue at all whatsoever. And then also after that happened, I was pacing back and forth, and I was walking up and down my street for some reason. I just couldn't stop being animated. I just had all this energy, and people were talking to me, and it was just like in one ear, not the other for me. And I was like, "You can see me," and they're like, "Yeah, we can see you." And I was like, I was completely like somewhere else. No, like completely somewhere else. Like no drugs or anything like that. Like no, like no, or alcohol or anything. Just like completely somewhere else after going Super Saiyan, a completely different person. And I was asking people, I was like, "You can see me? You can see me?" And they're like, "Yeah, we can see you." And I never said it before in my life, and I didn't know then why I was saying that, but I do know now. It's because I'm the God of Mu. So as soon as I went Super Saiyan, I also became the God of Mu, and that's why I was saying you can see me to people because I'm the God of Mu, and I haven't been seen in a long time. And I've been here for a long time as well too. It's just I haven't been. I just wasn't here for a while. That's all. I was somewhere else doing something else. But I chose Vegeta. I chose to be Vegeta. You know what I mean? It's like nobody knew. I didn't know that. I'm Cameron Brummagem. I didn't know that I was Vegeta, and I didn't know that I was picked by the God of Mu to be the God of Mu, the person the God of Mu is. It's been kind of a roller coaster to have to explain this. But anyway, that's what happened. The God of Mu chose Vegeta, me, to be. Because unlike you and everybody else, I can go super. The God of Mu didn't pick Keanu Reeves to be the God of Mu. The God of Mu didn't pick Charlize Theron to be the God of Mu. The God of Mu didn't pick, Jeff Goldblum, King Vegeta, to be the God of Mu. The God of Mu picked me because I'm Prince Vegeta and I went Super Saiyan. I mean, if you're going to pick somebody to be, like if you're like a deity that was bodiless, who else would you pick besides someone that can go Super Saiyan, right? Like, what are you, like a dumbass? So that's what happened. And then, so that turned into an event, and I got arrested that day. I cracked Bitcoin, went Super Saiyan 2, and became the god of Mu all in the same day, and then got arrested like that day. Kind of coincidence? I don't think so. And, there are people that I've already identified as being a part of it, like, people like Charlize Theron. I mean, give me a break, man. What a catastrophic losers that person is. It's embarrassing. So anyway, I got arrested, and then I got sent to Matsu pretrial, which is like a jail, like prior to jail, and I stayed there for about a month. And while I was there, still Super Saiyan, a lot of things were happening while I was there. A lot of paranormal events, like I was hearing voices over the intercom talking to me, not in my head, in the intercom talking to me, and uh, I was seeing things that I'd never seen before, and hearing things I never heard before. Oh, and also too, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I also heard. So when I went Super Saiyan, I heard like I think I already told. I think I mentioned this like a minute ago that like, I could hear like kids like crying out for help, but they weren't there. Just I could just hear voices in the distance, like right there in front of me, saying like help me," and like no one's there. So I was hearing stuff in jail, and I was seeing stuff in jail, but something else happened there when I was there. I was laying down by my door, and I was drawing something, and then a person walked in front of my door, and I saw like a big pair of feet, and it looked like a big pair of feet in boots, and it went like stomp stomp, and like I looked, it like turned into the door, like they like as if they had their back facing like the side of the door, and then like they turned into the door like step, like they stepped into the doorway, and then there's like a little Pepsi glass you can like look out to talk to guards and stuff or whatever. And I look out and there's no one there, but yet there's still there's still feet right there. There's like nobody in front of my door at all. You can see like the whole like it's like you couldn't miss it. There was nobody there, but there was a pair of shadow feet right in front of me. And then so I just went back to what I was doing, and it stood there, and then it walked away. And then like a couple seconds later, it did it again, and I looked again, and I'm like, and I told me that's what I told my cellmate or my cell neighbor. I was like, hey, do you see anybody in front of my door? And like they're like, no. I was like, there's somebody standing in front of my door right now. And there's like a pair of feet and like a pair of shadow feet right here, like the shadow of 2 feet right here. And I heard the audible like stomp stomp like in boots, but I didn't see anybody. So that happened, and then I got I was having really weird conversations while I was in there too. There's like a whole they were really pushing this whole Bible stuff, like my cellmates and all that, my cell neighbors. They were like really heavily into this Bible stuff. Pretty like it was like every day. And then I got out, and then I started seeing people looking at me for like no reason, and people were like appearing and like disappearing. Like I saw somebody like staring at me. This is like the day I got out. I saw somebody staring at me, and they like knelt down behind a bush and then just like disappeared. And I waited there for like a couple minutes. I'm like, are you gonna like get back up? Like, what are you doing? And they vanished. They weren't there no more. It was like a kid. I'm like, holy crap, man, this is crazy. So then I made it back to my place, and then it was just like a complete fake scenario. Like everyone had like an overly attitude about me. It was really obnoxious. My next door neighbor up there is an absolute piece of shit, and everyone knows it too. He was driving around in a black truck with gold rims. It's like really awkward, and it's really embarrassing. And they just really played into like, oh, you're a crazy or whatever the case is. Like it was like more than normal. It was like, oh, the attitude that I had after I got out of jail was like nothing's gonna happen to me and I can do whatever I want. And now they're finding out the hard way that that's not true at all. And that was a big mistake. That was a bad idea. These people look stupid. They look stupid for that, man. So anyway, it was like over the top. It was like that's a bit much. You know what I mean? Like if you're anybody like, hey, like I get it, but like you're like making it seem like this person's something that they're not, and now we know why because you're a piece of shit and you're in just as much deep shit as everybody else around here is. It's not my fault. You're like low on the totem pole, getting paid like a couple $1,000s to like be against somebody because you were told who someone is because somebody else knew who they were, and you feel special, you feel important, you feel included. It's not my fault. People are going to lose your lives. That's you're the enemy. You know, these people have lost their lives already. So anyway, I'll explain that later. I'm not like threatening anybody. What I'm saying is that people have lost their lives, and I've watched them lose their lives. People have been dying because I've cracked Bitcoin with Super Saiyan. So it's not a good look. So that happened, and then a lot of paranormal stuff was happening to me at my house after cracking Bitcoin. Uh, that's when the shit really hit the fan. Besides my fake neighbors and like their attitudes and stuff because they got paid to do it or whatever the case is, like it was really obvious. It was like, dude, you're lame. You're like blowing it out of proportion. You're doing it on purpose. You got a bad attitude. You're embarrassing. It's very obvious. You're full of shit. And I haven't seen them since, so I'm not worried about it. That's when like the weird stuff started happening. I started hearing more things. I started seeing more things. I started doing more things that were unexplainable, that at the time, unexplainable. Uh, Things in my house were being knocked off. Oh, when I got out, and before I made it to my house, I went to a hotel room and I had a crucifix up, like a little cross. And one of my friends called me on my phone. And as soon as I picked up the phone, the crucifix, it was like somebody like flicked the crucifix like off the mirror. It was like on a mirror in front of me, and it's like somebody just like flicked it off like like that. I was like, holy crap. That never happened to me before. Like just completely flicked it right off in front of me. And that was before I made it home. And then I made it home, and then all the drama happened, and all the neighbors like, oh, it can be me now. Oh, we can do what we're here to do now. It's like, dude, that's so lame. I don't know why you people did that. That was a flop, failure. It was a real mess for them. Didn't do anything. So I got to my home and like things started getting knocked over randomly at night and stuff. Um, I heard pounding on my walls. I heard people like pounding on my walls like this, like doom, 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 like outside my house, like right next to me because I was pacing back and forth talking. Because ever since I've cracked Bitcoin, all I do is pace back and forth and communicate and talk out loud. And I started hearing like pounding on my walls, like bam, 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 like, and I heard like people screaming like ah, like that. There was nobody out there at all. My motion lights didn't go off because I had motion lights, it's like a regular house, like nothing. And then I was being visited by Mormons the whole time, and things were getting weird. So before any of this happened, like months before this happened, and before cracking Bitcoin, about like a month or two, there was like a vehicle. People were already acting weird. People were acting like I was going to do something that I hadn't done yet. Like I hadn't cracked Bitcoin, but people were acting really weird about it already. Like they knew I was going to do it. Like how weird is that? A car was parked in front of my house that had like it was a black car with black windows and like and a black windshield. And I ran to the window because I heard an ice cream truck. I heard like the jingle of an ice cream truck. So I ran to the window and I was making like a YouTube video. I was like streaming or something because I was doing cryptocurrency videos. And I ran to the window and there was no ice cream truck, but there was a black car parked in front of my house behind a bush. And then like after a while, like took off and then like took off back down the road. I'm like, that's okay. That's weird. That was like right when I bought my house. So anyway, so fast forward past all that stuff, like cracking Bitcoin, going super, all that stuff, jail, come back. All these paranormal events are starting to happen. And I was being visited by Mormons the whole time. And they made like a really big involvement in my life, big time. And I went to the Mormon church and I sat through just one sermon and they were like really excited. They're like, we're so excited to meet you. I don't know if it was like an act or whatever the case is, or just playing a part. I don't know. But they seemed very overly excited to meet me. They're like, we're so excited to meet you. What a privilege, or it's a privilege to meet you. And like I would like look around every once in a while to like the rest of the crowd in the church, and all these people were like looking at me like really weird. Like some chick was like looking at me like all she wanted to do was just have sex, and I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. I just got out of jail. I just went super. I didn't know I went super saiyan. I didn't know I was Vegeta. Just looking at me like they want to have sex, and so that ended. Oh, then I went to a back room with them, and then in the back room, that's when they had like another sermon, and I sat next to some really weird people. And on the left of me was like all young girls, like 18, 19, 20 year old girls. And then on the right of me was like these like I'd say eccentric people. They kind of stuck out like a sore thumb. I was like, wow, you guys are weird. Anyway, they were giving a sermon, and some lady, like, out of nowhere, just made announced, she was like, our Messiah is among us. And I'm like, it must be me. I'm the only new person here. There's nobody else new here. So that happened. She said, our Messiah is among us, and she was a Mormon. And so I left church. That was a weird event. And then I'm just talking about like weird events that happened after solving Bitcoin because I wasn't really having weird events my whole life. Just kind of this. And then I visited the Mormon church one night around like 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night, just parking in the parking lot, like off in the distance, like in the corner. I was like drawn to that place for some reason. I was drawn there. I had visited multiple times already, just sitting in the parking lot at night, talking to myself and reviewing what happened and figuring out what's going on and why people have such a jealous attitude about me. It's like a lot of jealousy. It's really bad. It's like, why else would you do it if you weren't jealous? And one night I did that and it was raining. It was like trickling, and I had my car lights on, and I was parked by a fence, like one of those privacy fences that have like those little like slits in between the fences to for privacy. And my car was facing it, and it was raining, and then suddenly mist started to appear, like a heavy cloud of mist, like fog, smoke, clouds. I don't know, also I don't know, vapor. I don't know what to tell you. Like clouds of it started to appear, and like started to materialize in front of my vehicle. And the whole time before that happened, I was seeing like shadow figures, like wandering around my car. I saw like two or three of them like darting, like they're like darting back and forth. I saw one move here and I saw one move there. Like when I mean shadow, it's almost like if you're looking at something, it's like a little bit darker. You can still see through it, but it's like darker. You know what I mean? So you know something's there. It's just it's kind of that's what it is. It's very simple to explain. So that happened a couple times, and then the cloud started to appear, and my vehicle kind of like powered down, like the power of my car went like that, and like my lights dimmed, and the street light dimmed, like everything like dimmed, all the light in the area like dimmed, and then the fence in front of me started to like rattle. It was like I thought what I thought was I thought somebody was on the other side of the fence when like hitting it like this, you know, like hitting it to make it move. And there was a bit, and it was rattling. It was like it was like crazy. I was sitting there like, oh my gosh, like this is gonna turn into something. I guarantee it. And it did. And so it happened. And it became more and more like more and more predominant or more and more deliberate. It's like, and then it was like, and at the same time too, there was like a shimmer. It was like it no longer looked like water. It looked like a veil or something was like shimmering as it was like a curtain. I was like, holy crap, man, that's crazy. Like a curtain of shimmers in front of me. And then a portal or some kind of doorway opened up in front of me, in front of my car with me in it. And for a brief moment, I could see on the other side of the door, on the other side of the portal, of the opening, the other side of the opening, and I saw a train station. I only had like 5 seconds, but I saw like a crowd of people walking one way, and they all had like time period specific hats and attire like coats and stuff. And then I saw a train, and there was like I saw the chimney stack from the front of the train, like a regular choo choo train, but there was no color. It was all like a whitish light blue. All the people, all the train, the smoke, everything, the whole situation was like a light white blue, like a really light blue. And then I had about 5 seconds glancing at that. I was like, that looks like a train, and that looks like a crowd of people, and it was heading, away from me. The train was, and well, that's when it happened. Right after that, 5 seconds later, somebody came out of that portal. It was a woman, and she came like levitating out. She was like off the ground, not like high off the ground, but it looked like she came out like in roller skates. like She like kind of glided out and like stopped about like maybe like 10, 15 feet away from me, and just like she like whizzed out. She was like and just like stared at me, but I couldn't see her. I just saw like the outline of like a woman in like a dress, and like she didn't say anything to me. She didn't say a word to me, and she like zipped out and just like stood there, and it was the outline of her, like a light blue, and I could tell she was in a dress, and she was like staring at me and didn't move or anything. That's right where she stood at. And then like 3 seconds after that, this dude comes walking out, and this guy's like tall. This guy's like six something. This guy's like a big dude, and I can tell he's got a jacket on, and it's all light blue. Like there's no definition whatsoever. Okay, like how the ghost from the Jedi or from Star Wars, it was like that, but but no identity. You couldn't tell who it was, but it was like just like that color and a little bit lighter. And this dude comes walking out, and this dude came walking out with like the dude. This guy walked out like he had never gotten his ass kicked in his life. All he does is kick people's asses, and he's got like a foot long dick. And this guy came walking out. This guy came walking out like he was gonna do something, and he got real close to my car. Like he stopped like 3 feet away from my car, and just like stared at me like in my vehicle. And so like I got this doorway in front of me. This all took place in about maybe 15 seconds. The whole thing, 15 seconds, maybe no 15, 20 seconds tops. The shimmer, like the shimmering veil, and then the portal opening up, and the train station, and then this lady comes levitating out, and then this dude comes walking out, and I'm telling you, if you guys could have saw this guy's walk, you'd have laughed so hard later on. Like not at the time, but like dude, that guy walked like he had a foot long dick. That was so fun. It was so funny. It's so funny now. Back then, it wasn't funny because I was a little bit more emotional. I just got out of jail and it was all crazy and stuff. It was all disrespectful. Anyway, he stood there and just stared at me. She was staring at me. He was staring at me. The portal kind of closed up, like it was no longer showing anything, but there was still something there. And I just stared at him. I stared at her, and I stared at him. I stared at her, and I stared at him. He had like a trench coat on, like a jacket, like a coat, like down to like his like shins, and no facial features, nothing. But I could tell like I don't know who that guy was, honestly. And I have a suspicion, but I don't know exactly who he was because there was no faces. And after about 20 seconds, that's when it dissipated, and it kind of like they wobbled out of existence. It was just like a what I mean, like it was a very solid apparition, and her too. But then when it was time for them to leave, when they left, they kind of like their silhouettes kind of like went like this, like, and then it's like disappeared, like just like wobbled out of existence. And I mean, I can find videos to compare what I'm talking about later on, but I'm making these videos as context. So there's that, and then my car powered back up, and then the streetlights kicked back on, and then or came back on, and then the sprinklers all turned on at the same time. Like a lot of stuff happened as soon as I went Super Saiyan. It was really cool for me. It was interesting. Now it's super lame. Now we're like boiling down to like a lot of like stuff that's really unacceptable, and it's the truth. And these people have paid themselves lots of money to think it's funny to act like it's not. So that happened, but that's not anything compared to what happened after that. So that was the Mormon church situation. About 3 months after that, about 3 months after that, I was pacing back and forth in my house, and it was late at night, and then something happened, and I spun around, and I threw three punches. I threw three punches. I punched left first, right, and then left. And when I did that, uh, it created three ripples in front of me, and they're about the size of a quarter when they first started, and then like a second later, it kind of like dissipated to like the size of a dinner plate, and I shot something out of my fist, and I didn't know I was Vegeta at the time, but I shot something out of my fist, and the only trace of it was those ripples that I made. And later on, I checked my nails after I was done, after I did that, and I had these huge dents in my nails, like from the cuticle, huge dents on all my fingers that eventually grew out, but like there was a huge dent. So I shot something out of my fists. And I'm pretty positive that I shot people in their face using telekinesis, using the force. And I've come to a very good conclusion as to what so a lot's happened in like the last 4 years, and I've come to a really good conclusion as to what all of it is and what it means and who I am and how it'll make sense. And I'll explain that at the end of the video. But I'm positive that I killed 3 people doing that, and I can confirm that because about like the night after, I got visited by somebody, and she had a skull head. She had a skull. She had a skull head. There's a woman with a skull head. I'm pretty sure I got visited by like a person that's associated with death. So I'm pretty sure I killed somebody. I shot 3 people in their face with my fist using telekinesis, and my life hasn't gotten any better since then. And then that happened, and then fast forward some more, and a lot more crazier stuff was happening. And then one night I was laying on my. This is like a month later, 2 months later, whatever. I was laying on my bed, and I was looking at the wall very intently, like staring it down. And then something appeared in front of me, and it was the scariest, most appalling, most disturbing, disgusting thing I'd ever seen in my life. And it had 2 pair of eyes, and it was staring right at me, and I was staring right at it, and I didn't flinch, I didn't jerk. I just laid there stoically and stared right at it. And it had this it had this really like evil look on its face, like it had an attitude, and it was the most scariest looking thing I ever saw in my life. But I didn't make any reaction. And after about 5 seconds of staring at each other, I slowly closed my eyes and I reopened them, and it was gone. So that night, I packed up my belongings, packed up my cat, I packed up some clothes, I packed up um, some food or whatever, some water. Like I was just putting stuff in my car. And that's when I burnt my house down, was the night that happened. That happened around like maybe like 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I think maybe like, well, excuse me, like 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And by that night, I had already burnt down my house. I've been suffering through a lot of stuff here, and I have no respect for people like Jeff Goldblum. I need this to be very clear. I have no respect for him. He is a complete piece of shit to me. He is a loser because I know who he is. I have no respect for him at all. I have no respect for Jeff Goldblum. He has no association with me. He can call himself King Vegeta all he wants. I'm not his son. I'm Prince Vegeta. He ain't my dad. He's been nothing but a coward against me like my entire life, and he's a total pussy. He really is. He's a piece of shit and a pussy because I went Super Saiyan, and he's been a part of with other people here, making my life absolutely miserable. And well, there's nothing he can do about it. Saiyans who don't go super can't tell Saiyans who do go super what to do. So there's nothing he can do about that. If something's going to happen to Jeff Goldblum, it's going to happen to Jeff Goldblum, and there's nobody that alive or there's nobody that can stop it from happening. He's a piece of shit, big time, and so the people he associates with too. Uh, but while this was all happening, didn't even know about Jeff Goldblum. I kind of knew I was Vegeta at the time, but I didn't know about Jeff Goldblum. This is all like within like the last like 2 months, 3 months. So that happened. And then I started seeing a lot of dead people after that. I started one night I was parked. This is after my house burnt down. I parked and I saw like a team of soldiers dressed in overwhites, and they were off in the distance from me. It was at night, and they were making like these really like scary like movements. They're like doing like this. I kind of feel like they were like doing it on purpose. They're like, "Does he see us?" You know what I mean? Like, "Does he see us?" Like, I'm like, "I hope I'm not wasting my time right now." Like, "Does he see us?" Like. We're out here doing this, and we're like freezing our asses off, man. Like, is this, is this is doing anything? Like, I got like a squad of dudes and like overwhites, and what overwhites is like the camouflage that's used to blend you in with the snow because there was snow outside. So they had like I think they had like snow I think they had like over white bottoms and then like camouflage tops. But they're about maybe like 100 feet away from me. So and it was at night. But I could tell that there was about 4 or 5 people in the distance from me doing like this movement, like I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell. I'm like, my house is burnt down. I lost my cat. I went to jail because I went stupid. Like all this is happening. Didn't even get a haircut. I'm just sitting like, you know what I mean? And then my car started rocking. It started like going like this. And I was like, come on, man. Like this is crazy. It's just gonna get worse. And then before I burnt my house down, a bit prior to that, and being that skull-headed lady visiting me or whatever, only saw her. She didn't say anything to me. It was like a very brief visit. She like leaned in. I was like pacing back and forth, and she like leaned in and like looked at me and then like leaned back, and I'm like that was a skull. That was a skull. And I could tell it was like a very feminine. It was like a very feminine. It was like a I want to meet you. I want to know who you are. I want to know you existed and all this other crap, but I could just tell it's feminine. But by the way, like she like leaned in, it was like, oh, like, oh, I'm interested in you, but I got caught being interested in you. Like she like leaned back her hip, like like curious. I could tell it was a woman. So, oh, and then a UFO flew at my house while this was all happening too. It was at night. I like looked out my window and I saw like an aircraft like coming towards my house, and aircraft is nothing different. Like there was always planes and stuff like flying overhead, but this was different. And this thing came like flying at my house and then just kicked on like a bunch of lights. It was like boo, like a bunch of like lights, like flashing, bunch of flashing lights at my house. And I'm like, what do I do? This whole time I've been like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Like, what do I do? You know what I mean? It's like all crazy. It's all crazy shit. What do I do? And then it turned off the lights, and then I could kind of still see it, and like it like strafed off, it like stopped flying towards my house, and it kind of like went like this and just like disappeared. It like strafed sideways and just like vanished. And I'm like, whatever, man. I mean, I had just got done shooting out rockets. I just went Super Saiyan. Like I'm good, dude. Like this isn't gonna really like bug me. There's like a lot of crazy shit, a lot of crazy shit happening. So now my house is burnt down, and now I'm seeing dead people, and I'm seeing them all over the place. I can see dead people, I can see demons, I can see witches, I can see lizards, I can see other aliens, I can see jinns, I can see genies. No, not really genies. I just know I know I know they exist because I can see jinns. You don't have one without the other. Um, what else? I can see elves, and I can just see a lot of stuff. Pretty much. I can see invisible people. I've seen about 2 or 3 shadow people so far, and it's pretty disturbing. It's pretty scary because like that's real. I just saw that. That was very clear. It was very no excuses. Like that's exactly what I just saw. I just saw a shadow person, and they're like not worried about making themselves be known. Like I mean, apparently they're not worried about me seeing them because it's like that. Screw it, dude. You're Vegeta, and you went Super Saiyan. If anybody's gonna see me, it might as well be you. Why should I be like trying to hide my existence or whatever? Like I want you to. If I want to be seen, then I want to be seen by you, and like not some like schmuck or like a dumbass or something. Like you're like the real deal. Like you're Vegeta. You went Super Saiyan. Like you did it. So if I'm gonna be seen, if my existence is gonna be exposed, then it might as well to be you. And who else are you gonna do it to? A Kryptonian or something? I mean, I'm just saying. So there's that, and then I've been just ever since then. I've been knocking things over on accident, and I've been my the apartment that I live in now because my house is burnt down has been getting hit and punched by things while I'm talking that have like are upset about what I'm saying, and like my apartment's been getting punched at night. The walls been getting slammed like slammed like that was like a deliberate hit, and then like shelves are being knocked like shelves are being like ripped down, things are being knocked over, and that's like someone that's like that's somebody else doing that. I'm not doing that. That's somebody else in response to like what I'm talking about because all I'm doing is talking about the truth about what's happening here, this place. It's that's all there is to it. But I've also been doing like I've also been doing other things too. Like I broke a glass lamp. I knocked over a tin can with my shoulder, and then I felt it too. I like jerked, and I felt like my shoulder hit the can, and like the can like knocked over, and I was like, whoa, nice, nice. And then I broke a glass lamp with telekinesis. I was doing something, and I just mentally focused, I guess, and I broke a I broke a lamp. Like the glass, it went like it broke, and then I created sparkles in the sky. I was talking out loud, and I was looking at the sky, and I was telling a story about cracking Bitcoin out loud and what it means to be the god of Mu and stuff, and how I associate that with Blockbuster and all that. Like I've involved Blockbuster with this too, and I can talk about that later on. And after I was done, a patch of sparkles appeared in the sky above me for about maybe like a second or two. It was like it was like very like it was crazy. It was like that was intense. That happened. It was almost like somebody shot a firework up, and it was like, but there was no firework. I just caused it. That was after my house burnt down. And then, yeah. Oh, I think I've seen members of Section 13. They don't really talk about it because it's really embarrassing. But I think I've seen them before. I think there's a couple. I think Section 13 has been in my life the entire time. Like a vast majority of it without me knowing about it. But I do now because I know I'm Vegeta. I just saw them and they just dress like they wear like black and they wear black and gray. So that's how I know they're Section 13 members or members of Section 13, I believe. Like they wear like black coats and like gray suits and stuff in combination with each other. And they're like they're white guys. They're white people. I saw one the other day at a gas station. What else? Um, I just been living my life after what I did. I wasn't causing anybody trouble. It's all like, wait a minute. So everything about this guy's a lie because it got very chaotic. It got very disrespectful. It's like, hang on a minute. You, it's very obvious your attitude is fake. You're a drama queen and you want attention. This is not this is not it. This. You're not getting attention off of this. You're an absolute idiot. That was stupid. I'm the prince of all Saiyans. I am not somebody to get clout off of, or attention, or fame, or or anything. I'm not that dude. I'll put a bullet in your head with my fist, and I did. I killed 3 people, everybody, and I've been killing more people too in my dreams. I've had about maybe 12 dreams so far since I cracked Bitcoin where I've killed people in a one-on-one. Like they do something, and then I do something, and they die, and that's happened like 12 times. And yeah, pretty much, yeah. I've been killing people in my dreams, and I shot 3 people with my with my fist. Not like a pistol, I mean, like with my fist. Killed 3 people with a telekinetic gunshot to the face. So that happened after cracking Bitcoin. So that's what this video is about. Just what's happened after cracking Bitcoin and what I've gone through and what I did and how it's like there has been things happening at the same time. It's like, dude, is anybody going to shut this? Is anybody going to shut this retard up? You know what I mean? Like when this gets reviewed, people like Charlize Theron, who I know for a fact who she is, and she made Atomic Blonde. I'm Vegeta, and I went Super Saiyan. Bitcoin's German, about Berlin. Atomic Blonde, Berlin. I mean, come on, man. It's like, is anybody going to shut these retards up? Because you're total liars, you're total phony, it's totally fake, and you're full of shit. Is anybody going to shut these retards up? Is anybody going to shut these retards up? Because if you're not going to do it, I am, and you're not going to like it. Because after I'm done shutting them up, I'm going to shut you up too. Because you didn't do shit. I promise. I promise. I'm not somebody to be involved with. But then again, I'm also not somebody to not somebody to have this happen to either. Like, oh well, you're a danger to be associated with. So you're gonna harass me with lizards and are you like nuts? Yeah, the answer is yes. You are nuts. I've identified all these people. I know who Elon Musk is. I know who Jeff Bezos is. I know who Gina Carano is. I know who Charlize Theron is. I know who Britney Spears is. I know who Natalie Portman is. I know who Jeff Goldblum is. I know who Robert Downey Jr. is. I know who Chris Hemsworth is. I know who Tom Hiddleston is. I know who Kate Blanchett is. I know who Brad Pitt is. I know who Orlando Bloom is. I know who Paul Rubin is. I know who Bruce Campbell is. I know who Keanu Reeves is. I know who Gary Oldman is. I know who Monica Bellucci is. It's complete crap. I know who Dennis Rodman is. I know who Michael Jordan is. I know who Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is. I know who all these people are. It's crazy. Yeah, Paul Rubin, of all people. That's like, I don't know what to tell you. He's horrible. Uh, how many Dragon Ball Z fans do you know? Like, I'm Vegeta, so okay, that's fine. Everyone knows Vegeta. But how many people know who Tarble is? Like hardly anybody who are like Dragon Ball Z fans. Like I never heard of Tarble. I didn't watch that far into Dragon Ball Z. That's still Paul Rubens. He wasn't in episode 2 or 3 or 10 or whatever. Like season 1 or 2. He's like in season like 14 or 15 or something. Way later on, as like a side story. It's like the continuation. Paul Rubin, Pee Wee Herman is Tarble. You know, I know who Marina Troy is. I know who Idris Alba is. I know who that like that actor from was that 9 Years a Slave or whatever. I know who I know who that character is. Forget what his name is, but I know who Joseph Smith is from the Mormon Church. I know who Steve Marvin is. He's Moroni from the Mormon Church religion. I know who Mike Myers is. I know who Jack Nicholson is. I know who Michelle Pfeiffer is. I know who uh my uh the guy from that '70s show, Red. Forget his name, something Wood, Keith Wood or something like that. I know who these people are, and also because I know who they are, I know what they're doing here. And some of them thought it was interesting to make movies about it, and like, oh, no one's gonna figure it out. Yeah, I don't think that's like a good idea. I don't believe you. I do believe someone's gonna figure it out, and that's just a bad idea. Okay. Um, what else? So just go ahead and wrap it up because I don't want to talk for too long. I went Super Saiyan, and then I punched out rockets, and that means that I'm a force using Super Saiyan. I use the Force to kill somebody, but I'm also Vegeta, so it's Gallic Gun. Nobody's ever done that before. And the rockets that I shot out traveled faster than the speed of light. Okay? Travels faster than the speed of light. Not as fast as the speed of light, but faster. And it shot those people in their face, right in the face. And they died. And I've confirmed that based off what I've done, and I used the Force, and I went Super Saiyan, that I'm a Super Saiyan, I'm a Force user, I'm a Sith Lord, and I'm the God of Mu. And I'm also pretty positive that I'm going to be taking over for Antonidas from World of Warcraft, his position as like Archmage or something. And I've uncovered like a lot of stuff involving Harry Potter. I know who Jude Law is. I know who Alan Rickman is. I know what's going on here. I know who Sandra Bullock is. Forgot to mention her. I know about what's going on here, and it's not good. It's super rude. I mean, if you want to know what the truth is, I'll tell you, and it's rough. It's it's all revolved around racism. It's all revolved around sexism. It's all revolved around religion, and like it's rough, man. I mean, I can explain this to you in about 15 minutes about how really rude this place is, involving lizards and liars and all this other shit here. I know who Sharon Stone is. I know who Arnold Schwarzenegger is. I know who Sean Connery is. I know who all George Carlin. I know who all these people are, and it's rough, and it's too much. You're you're too you people are too inclined to not hear the truth and take their side because of what has happened to other people who didn't. They've been typecasted as racist and bigots and all this other stuff and been pounced on. And because of that and all this narrative driven stories, like, oh, these people are bad. Prove it. You tell me. You don't tell me you don't tell me what that person told you, and you're telling me what they told you. They might as well have told me. You tell me why that person's bad. You tell me. You tell me. And when it comes to the Jews, Nazis, and all this other stuff, like it's big. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. Slavery, blacks, Christians, men, women, lizards, liars, phonies, uh, royalty. It's all a big deal. And everybody knows Jeff Goldblum's in deep shit. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. Jeff Goldblum's in deep shit. Everybody, he's a liar. He's not Jeff Goldblum. He's an alien named King Vegeta. He's not a Jew. He's in deep shit. Stuff like that, guys. It's like, oh wow, Mel Brooks is a Jew, right? What's that guy's name from like the pianist or whatever? Dang it, Adrian Brody. Adrian Brody's a Jew, I think. Like there are people that are like actually Jewish, and then Jeff Goldblum's over there like, well, I'm a Jew too. Like, no, you're not. You're King Vegeta. King Vegeta's not a Jew, so you're lying. Why are you lying about being a Jew? And that's weird, right? Weird, right? Kind of like weird. So stuff like that, and that's all there is to it. So I've done a lot since I cracked Bitcoin. It's been pretty crazy and pretty chaotic, but I did it, and that's what's been happening, and it's been nonstop. And I got a job now, and I'm just being harassed by the most embarrassing people I've ever heard of in my life, and so have you. If you knew who these people really were and what they're really doing, you'd turn away from them. You would like, I'm good. You're an absolute complete zero. I know who Britney Spears is. You just turn away from them, like you're gross, like you're disgusting. You're a total loser. You're a total phony. You're a total fake. You're totally fake as shit. Everything about you's a lie. The whole thing's a lie, and that means that because you're a complete lie like that, that means that this place is a lie. You're famous for so long, and you're a phony. This place is a lie, and you weren't going to say nothing about it. You're just gonna force us to believe you're famous, and then sloppily die, and then be a stain or a mark on this place for thousands of years or whatever. Not a single one of these people are famous. Not a single one of these people are important. All they did was lie to you the entire time. You want to give me shit? I almost flipped off the camera. I almost flipped off the camera. You want to give me shit? I didn't take your money. Everybody, all these people in Hollywood, when you guys use your tickets to go, like, when you use your money to go buy their tickets, you're paying these people to oppress you and rub what they think they know in your face because you don't. They know about lizards and all that, and you're paying them money. You're taking money out of your paycheck, out of your pocket, and giving it to them. Now you have less, and they have more of it. I'm never gonna have respect for Jeff Goldblum, so that's just out the window. That's never gonna happen. He can he can kiss my ass completely. So anyway, not to like harp on him, but I mean it's the truth. I mean, he's like the number one douchebag against me. He's a sane who can't go super. That ain't my problem. It's his. Next time, don't be a coward, moron. That's it. So that's a video. Just to kind of give you guys a quick taste of what's been happening to me since I cracked Bitcoin, and I've also been like able to like knock the power out, like the lights get turned off. I don't know if it's somebody else doing it or if it's me doing it, but like I can like when I'm talking to myself, sometimes the power goes out. So I don't know if that's like electrosis or whatever. There's like a word for that. I forgot what it's called, but there's like a lot of crap. There's like a lot of stuff going on, and so anyway, that's just all there is to it. I have powers now. I have powers since I cracked Bitcoin, and I used them. And there are people that are dead now because of it. But I have powers, and every single one of these people who are against me don't have powers, and all they have is money. Money can't buy Super Saiyan. Money can't can't pay for you to be Super Saiyan. Money can't pay for you to use the Force. Money doesn't buy you powers. I promise. All they have is money. All of them. It's embarrassing. So anyway, that's the video. I have powers now since I cracked Bitcoin, and I'm not going to stop either. So I'm just going to get more powerful and more powerful and more powerful, and that's it. Shows the show is just starting for guys like us, and for people like them, it's over. Money is nothing. It doesn't go far at all. It's over. Powers is what continues forward, not money. So anyway, God bless you. Thank you all for powering through this video. Whether you watch it or not, it's up to you. I just want to make it because I had powers and I used them, and there's proof of it too. God bless you. I'll see you in the next one, and take care. Bye.